Yes, you are welcome to the second discussion segment of Nationalism and You on ITV, broadcasting live from Pape Hill in Abuja here. And we are on the platform of This Morning on ITV. Today we will be looking at constituencies projects, and their impacts. We have in the house someone who is in best position to address this issue with us. We are privileged to have Honorable Abdullahi Ibrahim Halims. He is a member representing Ampa, Olamaboro, and Omala Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives. Honorable, you are welcome to our studio.
Thank you very much.
And this morning I say to you, Honorable Ibrahim Abdullahi, Nationalism and You.
Thank you very much. I am Honorable Abdullah Ibrahim Ali Halims. It's my duty and privilege to contribute to the growth of this country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And you watching him out there, he is already doing it because he is in the House of Representatives representing large swath of our people. And if you are there, do the same. Put your hand on your chest. The time for blame game is over. We have to build a nation that what our collective dreams and aspiration. 22 years of our democracy, Honorable.
Yeah.
And we have been having this constituencies project, budget in, budget out. How impactful has it been?
Thank you very much. I want to sincerely thank you for this great opportunity to tell the world what constituency projects are. You know, constituency projects are innovations that came on board during as we move along democracy. You know, the way to reach the grassroots is all about constituency projects, because each an individual who represents a federal constituency, as far as the National Assembly is concerned, there are people who represent 3 local governments as a federal constituency, 4 local governments as a federal constituency, some 1 local government as a federal constituency. And tell me, who could be more nearer, closer to the people, to the grassroots, more than the representative? They are representative. As far as national mirror is concerned. The governor, yes. The head of state, yes. They are in the executive. And the legislators, one-on-one with the constituents. And that is why the inception of constituency projects come. And how is it done? You make proposal in the budget, year in, year out, of projects you think, you know, you feel that they are important to your immediate community as far as your constituency is concerned. And by so, making case for them in the budget, those projects are inserted in the budget. After appropriation, funds will be released to the various agencies. You know, constituency project is not executed by the member himself. You only make proposal, and once they are appropriated in the budget, and the budget passed, it is institutionalized in various agencies of government, ministries. For example, if I want them to do a community road, I will now maybe say, okay, rural road development, agency of Federal Ministry of Agriculture or Ministry of Works. I will now, allow the project to be, inserted in the budget of the ministry. And after so, the duty of the Federal Ministry of finance is to release funds to the agencies or the ministries concerned. The agency or the ministry concerned now look for a qualified contractor who will do the job. Mine is to ensure that yes, the job is effectively done to the satisfaction of the community.
But taking it from there, do you in the House of Reps that initiate this constituencies project and things of that nature, do you have a kind of peer review mechanism or monitoring mechanism that monitors the implementations of this project to see how impactful are they at the various constituencies
Yes,
level?
you know, I'm a legislator.
Okay.
My duties are 3. Making laws. That's number 1. Oversight of all agencies. In so doing, I have to start the oversight from my immediate constituency in such projects where they exist, where they are. Whether it is my own direct project or projects instituted by any other agency, as far as it affects my immediate federal constituency, it's my duty and responsibility to oversight their productivity and their influence to my immediate community. You understand? That's how it is. And you know, as a legislator, my duty again is to ensure that yes, whatever is good for my people is what I will always go after, because there is always a day of accountability.
Many people have said the constituency project is like duplicating the work of the executive and the rest of it, and many people have said that it should, whatever it is, it should align with what the Ministry of Works, Ministry of various agencies, just like you have items, because recently we heard that some people who in the name of constituency project purchase empowerment programs, implement, and the rest of it, they warehouse them in various warehouses, and they are not distributing it, and it's not getting to the people of their constituency. That is why I ask of the necessity whether you people have a mechanism that monitors implementations.
No, you see, where you are going is different from where I was going. I can now understand what you mean. You know, procurement of empowerment materials, it is not you and I that buy them as a legislator. It is the contractor that will still buy. All we may need to do at the end of it, at the end of his procurement, is to supervise distribution. And whenever they are going to be distributed, the agencies concerned are always there to supervise the distribution. Nobody will go and store it. You can't use it. It is for the people. Like a buying of keke napep. What will I do with keke napep? What will I do with motorcycle?
ICPC is chasing some people in the southeast.
Yes, and even in my federal constituency, they were there recently. About 3 weeks ago, they were there to, you know, to confirm the distribution of fertilizers, distribution of motorcycles, distribution of empowerment material we've done recently. And they were satisfied.
Very good.
Because we actually did it, and the people we gave them to, some of them were invited.
They were satisfied at your own constituency, but somewhere else they are chasing some people who say they are resisting
100% in anything, success.
Now I am coming back to your own heart.
Yes.
You are the chairman of the committee on steel development and things of that nature in the House.
That is true.
Ajaokuta Steel Complex is the greatest and most ambitious steel complex this nation have ever embarked upon.
That is true.
This is going to 4 decades of that project.
Yes.
It has not come alive.
Yes.
My brother, what are you people doing, particularly now that I know that you are the chairman? What are you people doing as regard oversight function, why has that place be not come forth the way it has been programmed to be?
Thank you very much.
Yes.
I'm from Kogi State.
Yes, that is why.
And that is the home of the Ajokuta Steel Complex.
That is why nobody else to take it to.
And my great passion for that industry is just like it's my property. And in all ramifications, I'm up and doing to ensure that yes, Ajokuta comes to life before I end this tenure. And how is it? All the issues concerning Ajokuta has already been tabled. And I can assure you, if not because there was this drama of COVID, would have been far away from where we are. For information, Ajokuta, you are hearing, or maybe you have seen, I have visited there since my assumption as the Chairman House Committee on Steel Development almost 4 times. We've had several meetings, symposium about Ajokuta severally to ensure that Ajokuta comes to fruition. And I want to tell you that today Ajokuta is 95% completed. The issue now is we want the original starter to come and complete the industry. And you know what it is? The Russians. The issue there now is just technical auditing. And that is the one that is between us and the completion of the industry. Once the technical audit is done, the Russians will come. They will ascertain the level, what we have. That's the audit. And the fund for that audit, by the grace of God, has been provided. It's just the, tidying up some issues within the ministry and the legal department of government. After that is done, the Russians will be here again to make sure that these are completed. And once Ajokuta is completed, massive employment for Nigerians. Over 10,000 skilled workers will be employed. And the implication of that.
Why I raise that issue is that I have heard people said in the last 5 months that the only president they trust can implement Ajokuta and make it to come alive is President Muhammadu Buhari, having experienced the various disappointments of the past. And they have this potent fear that if Buhari ended his tenure without getting that place to steam and roar back to life, it may take another dimension. So what is
but you can see it is Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari that has initiated this process, I'm saying.
Okay.
He has traveled to Russia, engaged them, and the whole process is working as fast as possible. I can assure you that in the next 3-4 months, you will hear a different story about Ajokuta. I can assure you that. And the pragmatic effort of my Governor Yaya Bello, in ensuring that this Ajokuta comes to light, there are all the forces around it to making sure that it glows. And I can assure you, by the grace of God, the coming into production of Ajokuta will solve most of the nation's problem.
That is
employment,
our yes, okay.
Employment, industrial revolution, economy, mention them, even insecurity, because once the youth are employed, the tendency for outrage will be reduced.
Some people said that there are legal implications, conditions that are inhibiting the implementation of the Ajokuta. Has this legal lacunas, whatever it is, and the rest of it, with various segments of capitalist entity, have those legal issues? Have they been resolved?
No, legal issues are issues you don't confront them the way you want it. There are processes. And if there are other legal matters like that, I think the Federal Ministry of Justice is addressing them. But the one I know and the one I'm very sure of is the legislative aspect. Come the executive, which I know government is doing all its possible best. And the result will be apparent in few months.
Your optimism is very, very heartwarming to me, and I think to Nigerians that are watching and things of that nature. And I will also want to say that this is not the first time we are having this kind of optimism expressed. This is not the first time we are having this kind of optimism expressed. In your own opinion, is it lack of understanding of the importance of this complex that has delayed it for over 4 decades, or is it just a deliberate sabotage?
No, you see, it couldn't be a deliberate sabotage. Sometimes I think what you said first, lack of understanding. And you know, in our present day economy, oil has overshadowed so many things. And it has made us not to even build a strong industrial base for this country. We are now seeing the effect. You see, if we are to be importing even common pain, razor, importation, if we have this Ajokuta working, pipes, vehicles, everything will be produced locally. And you know what it is? It will increase our GDP. But because we lack understanding, not sabotage, of the economy, that's what I'll call it. But now it is apparent, and with the dedication and commitment of President Muhammad Buhari, we are very sure that yes, the lacuna will be resolved. And what is it? That is the technical audit. That is the only thing inhibiting moving to that production level. And by the grace of God, the fund for it has been released. So what else we say? It's just coming into action of the technical auditors.
Very well then. We will hold on to the hope that you have helped us to disseminate here, because we know that that project is not only to the benefit of Kogi State, but Nigeria, the entire nation.
Even the whole world and neighboring countries.
Many people say that some powerful nations are afraid that many countries that are patronizing them for steals will divert to Nigeria if Nigeria, this Ajaokuta complex, come in full stream and the rest of it. And it seems that they have connivance from within implementations corridor of the program and that kind of a thing. How do we escape from such influence?
If there are, I don't know. If there are, I don't know. But
because if there are not, I don't know. I don't think it is lack of knowledge of its importance alone that would have delayed the program.
We are suspecting conspiracy, but I don't think it is. But even if there are, President Muhammad Buhari is up to the game, and from his actions, we are seeing that yes, all those problems are going to be resolved by the grace of God.
Nigeria have grown. Once upon a time, we used to have a nation that started with about 75 million people, 84 million, then 140 million. Today, we are talking about 200 million. And the rest of it. There is necessity for expansion of economic base to accommodate
the
teeming population, because just like you have rightly said, it is linked to our peace. If we don't constructively engage our youths, then we will have a handful of people whose, they said, idle mind is a workshop of the devil and the rest of it. And we are already witnessing those challenges and the rest of it. As somebody who is paramountly in the corridor of playing oversight functions on the behavior practices, particularly regarding economy and services to the nation and the rest of it, your take on this? What how will you people re-engineer in the new, in the new, what do you call it, in terms of reconstructing devotion to national reconstruction that can expand economic basis?
Thank you very much.
Yes.
As far as the economy is concerned, we have experts who are taking care of the economy. You understand? And the experts are at work every time to ensure that those aspects of the economy that needed to be re-engineered, activated, they are going on. Structural development is going on, infrastructural development is going on, economy is being, worked on every day. It's a very dynamic process. We as legislators, our job is making laws for good governance of this country, which I know you know. Then secondly, oversight. Oversight. We are not in enforcement.
Yes, we know you are not in.
We don't do enforcement. Our own is to make laws, enact bills, raise motions. You understand? And throw it to the executive for implementation.
Just like you rightly said,
yeah.
Nigerian values you people very much because of that particular one,
yes.
Oversight functions.
Yes.
But Nigerians seems to be also very concerned that the act of oversight function seems not to be potent enough, because we are still having a report of various federal government agencies that are not remitting money they ought to remit to the government coffer and the rest of it. Some people even were raising issues recently, and I came face to face with that the money being generated from, what do you call it, from stamp duty alone by the banks, by the community of banks in Nigeria, is enough for the federal government not to go borrowing if they are properly remitted. But that these monies are not being properly remitted. That is why I am taking it back to you from the way you spoke about the Ajaokuta. I knew that you and your committee have performed great oversight function because of your interest there. So you are now assuring Nigerians that we can have about 95% completion, and the rest of it in the next few months, 4 months, and the rest of it we can have it roll back to life. But regarding every other segment that can lead to expansions of economy basis, because if you see the Nigerian GDP today is about $440 billion. For a country of 200 million people, that is too low, taking it per capita income of the citizens. How would you people make your oversight function more potent to ensure that Nigerians are not shortchanged?
Yes, thank you very much. This takes me away from my own immediate committee assignment. I am a member of other committees, like public account. Though I'm not a member of finance, but I know the man in charge of finance as a committee is doing everything humanly possible to ensure that, yes, taxes, revenues generation for this country are properly oversighted. How is it done? By making sure that the various agencies like Custom, Federal Inland Revenue, Post Authority, and National, most of them, that they function properly according to existing laws, existing acts of the Parliament. Our own is to ensure that they operate within the confinement of the law. That is in our oversight function. But enforcement, just as I keep saying, are beyond our own powers.
Okay.
Enforcement are beyond our own powers. We make laws and we leave it for the executive to enforce. Assuming you evade tax, it's not our duty to prosecute you. Our own duty is to, within the framework of the law, what percentage of accrued revenue goes to government, what goes to this other government, goes to this other arm of government. Ours is to ensure that we enact law that is good for the system. But enforcement is beyond our scope. That goes to the executive.
Well, we will not even go into the enforcement, but we think that you can subtly also do some form of liquid enforcement by inviting those agencies.
That's what I'm saying. We have invited, we do where necessary, invite those agencies. That's what I'm saying, that in public account, as a committee, we invite most of the agencies based on Auditor General's report. You don't just go and invite somebody. There must be a report, a substantial report stating his offense, a record. You invite him and cross-examine him, and where necessary you give out the what he should do. You understand?
How did you celebrate the Nigeria at 61?
Nigeria at 61 was...
How did you celebrate it?
As a person.
As a person,
As
yes.
a person, it was full of prayers for this country.
Full of prayer for this country.
Full of prayers for the country, so that the country can be successful.
Where we are today and where we have been, what is your opinion about Nigeria nation's future?
We have gone very far, and we are doing very well. At 61, it's a nation, not you and I as an individual. As a nation of over 200 million people, and with our growing economy, no matter the insecurity or whatever, our economy is fast growing. And the problems we have for getting to 2 years is that of COVID-19, and it has set back the economy of the world, not even Nigeria alone. And by the time we get out of this, I think we'll consolidate. And to me, I believe with my effort and your effort, Nigeria will grow higher, because nobody would like to see his country being dragged into the mud. So we need prayers, we need commitment, and we need to be up and doing to see a great Nigeria for our children and children yet unborn.
You are a part of the government as a legislature,
yes.
a distinct arm,
yeah.
and the only arm that disappears if there is a military coup. So that means that you are the bedrock of democracy.
Yes.
Looking at Nigeria at 61 and our 22 years of democracy, how satisfied are you with the progress we are making democratically?
Yes. Democratically, we are moving forward. 22 years as a democratic nation, without any obstruction militarily, we are achieving.
But in our practices of democracy, do you have any kind of regret?
No, we shouldn't have regret. You and I shouldn't have regret. The nation shouldn't have regret. We are growing. We are getting matured at that level.
If you are to correct anything about our democracy, what will it be?
It depends on what you want us to correct. But for now, I think we are moving well.
People talk about developmental democracy, electoral democracy. Developmental democracy is that when you take those developments to those places that are difficult to access, yet you access them with your ballot boxes and the rest of it. So you also make sure that you democratize development to reach them and that kind of. But electoral democracy is the processes of electing you and I to come and serve. How trustworthy has our electoral democracy become?
Electoral processes, there could be, in electoral law, there's what we call substantial compliance.
Okay.
And in execution too, substantial compliance. You understand? Nothing is 100% successful. Nothing, even life, even your own personal achievement. So the nation as a body, we are democratizing politically, structurally, infrastructurally, and it's going at a pace. We don't achieve 100% overnight. Even America, we are copying. They are not 100% efficient. So we are moving and we are achieving results. We are developing. We've not run this democracy for 50 years. Some nations have done it for 200 years. So you can't, make comparison like that. We are even very fast. All we are praying is that God should keep guiding us and guiding our leaders. All right.
Recently in the continent of Africa, particularly in West Africa here, we have 2 military coups, Mali and Guinea-Conakry.
Yes.
And Sudan was almost joining them. God saved them and that kind of a thing. How much? What do we need to do to make sure that Nigeria democracy continue to flourish in order to provide leadership for democratic emancipation?
Yes, Nigerian democracy will continue to flourish, and this is only achievable if we have good leaders. And in making good leadership, we ensure that the electorates are properly enlightened to make sure that good leaders, no matter how painful, they are elected through the ballot box, genuinely.
Honorable Abdullahi Ibrahim, your final word to Nigerians and to the government which you are part of.
Yes, my advice to Nigerians is to keep praying for our leaders so that they will do the very best that will promote peace and unity of this country, bring about development to this country, and they should desist, especially the youth, from unnecessary rancor and resist temptation.
Thank you very much. It's been wonderful having you on our station this morning.
Thank you.
And we want to say we appreciate you. We hope you make yourself available for us when we have another time to call you up for a national discourse like this. It has been on the platform of nationalism and you. That spirit of modern Nigeria beckoning on you to awake yourself to the duty of national reconstruction agenda. It is your duty, my duty, our duty to build a Nigerian nation that complies with our national anthems, national pledges, and the dreams of our founding fathers, as well as that of our aspirations and goals. I remain your host till next week, Thursday, when we come with nationalism and you. I am Ebenezer Oyetaki. Do not change the channel, because more educative, informative, and programs are coming on your way on this platform. ITV, certainly the best.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure. Thank you. You're welcome.
It's my pleasure.